In this short video, I want to take you from guesswork to certainty so that you can feel empowered in why your blends work, why your formulas are successful. And today I'm going to use an example from a study that went wrong. I really love this study because it proves the point perfectly. So in this study, they tried to use a blend to ease pain, sleep, and stride length. So here's your first red flag, and it is a continuation from the previous video, how less gives you more control and how less is more efficient. Also, less goals is more efficient, because in this case, sleep is definitely contradictory to stride length. So what I would suggest right off the bat is to make one blend for sleep and another one for stride length. Now let's take a look at the oils. So they used a rosewood, eucalyptus radiata, and wild mint. So it makes sense for pain and sleep. If you use rosewood, it would cover pain and sleep, for example. And if you use eucalyptus radiata, it would cover pain and stride length. The same with wild mint, it would cover pain and stride length. But what people do, and this is because, as I mentioned, we memorize what essential oils are for instead of understanding the dynamics behind it. If taking a little bit, effort to look at the chemical constituents and the properties of them and understand why they work the way they work. So here they went for the idea that, just adding these oils will work because one is for sleep, another one is for pain, another one is for, more endurance. But it doesn't work that way. I hope that with these videos you've been watching, now you're getting the confidence and the understanding of why the oils that you use, for example, for pain, actually work on pain. Do you need one oil sometimes instead of 5? Sometimes you need 3. But you know why you use every single drop the way you do. So let me show you this in a comparison tool. Here we have rosewood, eucalyptus radiata, and wild mint. So once you get accustomed to these colors, you'll right away know, and they will tell you a little bit more on how they bring the dynamics. But I will scroll down to some of these things so it's more clear. As you see right away, rosewood, as I mentioned, is the only one that has research on being a sedative, and that is very expected because rosewood has a lot of linalool, and linalool is known to be a sedative. We already talked about this in several videos. And if we scroll lower, you will see other things that do and don't align. And this is an excellent tool to check that before you make the blend, before you use all the money for the research and use other people's time and wasteful for the environment. You might want to run it by in Dropsmart and see if it makes sense. So here you can see when you compare their constituents where it went wrong. With the alcohols, they do align, but rosewood has, as I said, a lot of linalool that will help them sedate, but it's fighting with this menthol here that will activate you, that will give you that freshness, the minty. And again, when we look at the oxides, here we have the 1,8-cineol, and these are the reasons why they chose these oils. So what do we do to be efficient? Like, what can we do? Let's take a look at what they wanted to do. They wanted to do pain, sleep, stride length. So what can we do? You can take a look at oils for sleep, for example, and we'll have plenty. So which one to choose? I suggest a different approach. We noticed that the reason why rosewood is effective is because it has linalool. So let's take a look at oils that are rich in that. And for that, we will use the advanced filter. We will go to chemical groups and constituents and search for linalool. And now that we filtered oils by linalool and a higher percentage, we have 45 oils to work with. And I will look for a combination of linalool and linalool acetate. This is what we talked also a few videos ago, if you remember. It is a combination that comes very frequently in lavender, in neroli, in bergamot. It's a combination that is great for sleep, but also pain, if you remember. And here it is, lavender, lavandin. But let's be creative. Let's, free our minds and use something we never used before, like this interesting berry. Let's take a look. And look at this. We have no properties that have been found yet on research on this particular essential oil. Nobody has written about it, but there's also no known safety hazards and contraindications, so it seems quite safe to use. And why? I can already see by the color here, and I hope you're learning as well. It has a lot of monoterpene alcohols and esters, and since we searched for linalool, I am guessing that the dominating component is linalool, and yes, it is. Let's take a look at esters. And usually where we have a lot of linalool, we have a lot of linalool acetate. They come together because of the way they're formed. So here it is, a very good choice for a sedative. And these are the oils that have been proven that. Also a great analgesic for the same reasons. We have linalool acetate and we have linalool. Here it is. Also a little bit of 1,8-cineol to help that, but in a little bit, not too much that it will, work against the effect of sleep. So I get an idea on how to use this. I can use this wonderful oil that nobody ever wrote about, but I can use it with certainty that it will work as a great sedative and pain relief. So this is how I suggest you go around blending, to go about choosing your oils, to understand the why behind the oil, and not just memorize this stuff, because somebody has actually got to test it for you to even begin to learn what this is about. But we can go the other way. We can look at what it is made up of, and then that will tell us how to use it. So I hope that this will help you use essential oils with confidence and success, and then you build from one oil to a blend and so forth. Thank you for your attention.